Hello, everybody, and we should be live now. I believe we are. Yes, hello, and welcome to the Habs recap for January 30th, 2020. The Montreal Canadiens, just about half an hour ago from when I'm starting this, have beaten the Buffalo Sabres. Little did I know this game is actually much more important than I expected in terms of the standings. Because of this win, we are now out of a tie for I believe it was fifth in the Eastern Atlantic Division. We now take the fifth place spot all by ourselves with the extra 2 points we get tonight, not giving Buffalo any points. So that's actually much better than it should be. By the way, I want to give a hello to Let's Hockey for not starting the stream when he showed up. Hi, we win. Hey, Let's Hockey, there you are. How's it going, man? Great to see you. Great to see you're still here. You were waiting. My apologies for starting much later than I expected, by the way. A little bit of technical difficulties. For some reason, my computer's running a little slower than usual tonight. I'll probably have to give it a reset tonight after the stream. But actually, and after this game, unless you guys demand it so much, I have a poll that I did today. Or not a poll, but I have a pack of hockey cards. I got a really, really good poll out of it if you guys want to see that in a little bit. But, of course, hockey game for now. So if you're new here, I go over to the stats on the board, and then I talk about the actual game itself and give my thoughts and my recap on it. So, of course, as per usual, we're starting with the board. Tomas Tatar leads our team in points with 18 goals, 28 assists, and 46 points. Philippe Deneau is next with 12 goals, 25 assists for 37 points. Brendan Gallagher, who came back tonight, thankfully, does not have the green next to him. 16 goals, 18 assists, 34 points. Max Domi with 12 goals, 22 assists, 34 points. James Berry, good game tonight for your team. Thanks, brother. Hope you enjoyed whichever game you watched tonight. Shea Weber, 12 goals, 21 assists, 33 points. Him and Domi are very, very close together. Nick Suzuki, 9 goals, 21 assists, 30 points. Jeff Petrie, 7 goals, 22 assists, 29 points. Joel Armia, 13 goals, 11 assists, 24 points. Arturi Lehkonen, 11 goals, 12 goals, 23 assists. My apologies for that. Ilya Kovalchuk, 8 goals, 10 assists for 18 points. I watch your team. Hey, James, thank you for that. I appreciate it, brother. Nick Cousins with 7 goals, 10 assists, 17 points. So him and Kovalchuk definitely ones to look forward to there. Ben Sherratt with 7 goals, 9 assists, 16 points. Jonathan Drouin, who is currently still injured, 7 goals, 8 assists for 15 points. Nate Thompson, 2 goals, 7 assists for 9 points. Victor Mete, 4 goals, 5 assists, 9 points. Jesperi Kotkaniemi, who actually was a healthy scratch tonight. We will get into that. 6 goals, 2 assists for 8 points. I'm going to move my cursor away from the X button because I do not want to exit out of the stream and have to restart and lose the lovely viewers I have. Jordan Wheel with 5 goals, 3 assists, 8 points. I believe he was also a healthy scratch tonight. Brent Kulak with 5 assists. Paul Byron, who is sadly still injured, 1 goal, 3 assists, 4 points. Dale Weiss with the exact same thing. Charles Hudon, Christian Follian, and Marco Scandella with an assist. And Cale Fleury, Ryan Paling with 1 goal. Record is now 23, 22, and 7 with 53 points on the season. Like I said, we are now 5th solo in the Atlantic Division, and we are now, I believe, 11th place in the Eastern Conference, currently sitting 8 points behind out of a playoff spot. Last game is obviously this one. Canadiens 3, Sabres 1. I very like how when you show those stats, it's fun and cool to watch. Hey, Let's Hockey, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'm glad someone in the stream appreciates the stats on the board. Thank you. Power play is now 26 for 135. Penalty kill is 120 for 151. Home record is still 11, 13, and 4. Absolutely atrocious. Away record is now 12, 9, and 3. When is your next live game? Next live game is probably, if I'm able to, 100% it's going to be Valentine's Day when the Canadiens take on the Bruins, unless there's a Leafs and Habs game before then, but I don't think there is. I'm going to see. It's just that my internet's really bad right now. I don't know if I'd be able to unless I figure out a way to do so. But I'm going to try and stream with DDT Regulator, who is obviously a moderator in the chat. He and I placed a bet on, I forget which game it was, but we placed a bet where if I got, I think it was 25 likes on one of my streams while I was live, you can actually go back and find it. It was one of the hour and a half long ones, but it was one of those. And he said, if you get to 25 likes, I'll watch a hockey game with you. And so he said, when's the next Habs versus Bruins game? Because he knows those are the videos that I get the most views on when I do live reactions. So he said, I'll watch that game with you. So we're gonna see if we can. We're gonna see if we're gonna be able to stream that live, or if I'm gonna have to do something where it's like crank my speakers all the way up, shut off every other notification, and hold them up to the mic or something, or if we're gonna be able to do that. But I definitely will try and see if we can do live. February 8th, Toronto versus Montreal. Nice. Okay, so I'm going to be live twice within 8 days, 4 times within 8 days at that point, actually. Unless we're just counting one day as a stream, then I'm going live twice for probably about 3 to 4 hours within 10 days. It was a great game for us, but not for Eichel. He broke his stick at the end. Yeah, I did see he broke his stick after Tatar planted the empty netter, and he fell into the net. That was pretty funny. Let's go Habs. Let's go indeed. Let's hockey. Rip Kobe Bryant. Metal Clan, I agree. Rip Kobe Bryant, man. Rip Kobe Bryant, his daughter, and every other all the victims in the helicopter crash. But now to get into something more positive, Canadiens hockey. Unless you are a Sabres fan, which in that case, you might want to skip this portion of the stream. Before the game, it was worthy to note that Brendan Gallagher, he was back in the lineup tonight. And so the lineups, they were Tatar, Jano, Gallagher, Kovalchuk, Suzuki, Armia, Lehkonen, Domi, Cousins, Paling, Thompson, Weiss. Interesting to note, Jesperi Kotkaniemi was a healthy scratch tonight. Kotkaniemi did not play. Habs Leafs, February 8th. I'm definitely going to be checking that out. Probably watching it live if I'm able to. But interesting to note, Kotkaniemi, who has been on a bit of a cold streak. Another one of his cold streaks. He's not playing great this year. Obviously, the sophomore jinx. He's honestly, I think in his third year next year, he's going to be much better. I think he could be up near the 20-point range by now. I don't think he's ever going to get to the place, at least to the Canadiens, where he's a point-per-game player. I do think, at least this late in the season, I don't think he's going to have 50, 60 points at this point. I think in a full 82-game schedule, if he stays healthy in 82 games, he could potentially have 40, 50, maybe even 60-point range. I think he's that potential for going as a third overall pick. He could be considered a bust, kind of. But if he did go, say, late in the first, it's a really good draft pick. Who do you think is going to win? I don't know. I honestly think, knowing how the NHL and the hockey gods like to play games, it's most likely going to be the Habs and Leafs fighting it out on February 8th for a wild card spot at the time. But you know what? I'm going to go Habs. Even though I'm a fan of both, whoever wins, I'm happy with. I do think the Habs can definitely squeak out a win. We did miss Gallagher. He played very great today. He played amazing. Like he never even missed a game. Of course, spoilers, he got a goal tonight. Had another really great chance on a breakaway for another goal that he could have gotten. Of course, that we will get to. My team win. Hey, James, very nice. Who do you think do you think you make the playoffs? It's definitely tricky right now, honestly, James. It's definitely very tricky. We're only 8 points out, but keep in mind the teams we're fighting with. Columbus, who was expected to be nothing this year, bottom of the league, they're somehow in a playoff spot. Carolina, Toronto, Florida, even Philly, I believe, is above us. Those are the 5 teams I think. I think those are the 5 teams we have to fight right now for a potential wild card spot. Not even mentioning if we tie with Florida and Toronto, we could potentially get a wild card spot. But who knows? Maybe because we're in the Atlantic with Florida and Toronto, if we somehow are all tied for, say, 37 points by the time Toronto and Montreal play, those 2 points could be crucial because Montreal could jump ahead of Florida and Toronto and get into a playoff spot suddenly, whereas I honestly could see Florida missing out of the playoffs. I could honestly see Columbus, as much as I'd love for them to make the playoffs as an underdog, probably wouldn't go that far, honestly, sadly. But I can definitely see Montreal potentially trying to push into a playoff spot. And right now, I think they're definitely in the situation where it's like they don't know if they don't have the identity of buyers or sellers at the deadline. I feel like part of them could be like, all right, yeah, we could trade away Tatar and Petrie and Kovalchuk, and we can trade away all these UFAs and RFAs or UFAs this year. Or at least I'm pretty sure Tatar. Yeah, Tatar has to be a UFA this season. Or after this, no, after next season actually. Him and Petrie both. But they could be potentially okay. Yeah, no. Even 8 points out, we're too far back of a playoff spot. Let's sell. And they could get easily a first for Tatar, maybe even a first for Petrie. Potentially, if they really want to push their luck, a late second rounder for Ilya Kovalchuk. So personally, I think they could potentially sell at the deadline, but they could also buy. They could potentially sell off their second rounder for, say, a third rounder, or not a third rounder. They could potentially sell off, say, a third rounder to bring, or a second rounder to bring in a potential third line guy that they're not getting in Ilya Kovalchuk. But keep in mind, when Byron comes back and Drouin comes back, obviously, Drouin easily is a second line guy right now. Right now for us, I think. And Byron is definitely your fourth line guy, unless you want to sell him off at the deadline. Byron is one of the guys who, despite me absolutely loving, I love Paul Byron, I think he's the one guy you could absolutely afford to sell off this year. If you could get back a third, maybe a second if you bundle an asset in there. But who knows? Maybe you trade off Byron and you end up getting some fourth line guy. As long as he does not like a Scandella where you trade off a fourth and for pretty much nothing. Because Scandella, while he has been playing well, in some games, other games he's not playing that well. Time to trade Price. Oh wait, Habs win. Wow, get hype. Spotlight. I agree, brother. Do you think you make? Just answer that. Leafs won 5-2 over Nashville and beat the Stars. That is very true, Meadow Clan. The Leafs did win, I believe, their last two games. So they're definitely climbing the standings very, very well. So they're out of 10. No, they're out by 8 points. And I don't think they have a game in hand. I think actually other teams have a game in hand on them. I think. Tatar to Oilers. Yeah, I mean, you guys are overpaying Zach Kassian. You're overpaying Connor McDavid. Tatar's probably the guy you need to show Ken Holland, hey, this is how much you got to pay a guy who's producing like this type of player guy. I don't know. I guess maybe Oilers give up their first rounder that's bound to win the lottery because the Oilers seem like winning the lottery. Yeah, who knows? Who knows, Spotlight? I think, yeah, let's hockey. I agree. I think next year, because we should have Paling on the third line, hopefully healthy and learning from this year where he doesn't necessarily need to get points. He just needs the experience. You're going to have guys like Weiss coming off the books. You're going to have Thompson sadly coming off the books unless you want to bring him back for another year. Kovalchuk's going to get a bit of a raise. Domi's going to get a bit of a raise. Kokianemi maybe might get a bit of a raise if he, which honestly I do think he could probably I do honestly think he could potentially get sent down to the minors. I do think he could. Jake Evans could potentially push for a roster spot. I'm going to say it now. Jake Evans is my dark horse to make the NHL roster next year. Drouin's going to be healthy, hopefully, fingers crossed next year. All the cap that's going to be coming off the books, we're going to have about $15 million in cap, I think, roughly $15 million in cap. If we don't say sign Kovalchuk and sign Thompson again and Cousins and all those guys that are expiring this year. Then I do think the Canadiens could go after not a Taylor Hall necessarily, but they could go after a good big name player that could be worth the $6-7 million that the Habs could potentially want to pay him. Plus, you can get a good backup. I think if you go after Braden Holtby and maybe sign him on a 1 year, maybe a $3 million deal as a potential backup, who knows? Maybe. Oh my God! Wow, we have 7 viewers. Thank you guys for so much for the views. I'm talking not even about the game yet. I think okay. I do believe for this year. Let's hockey. I do also. Jesse, welcome. Thank you for the smiley. Go Habs, go Leafs, go. I agree. It may be just 10 points. The problem, yeah, that is very very true. The problem is that the ranking for the last playoff spot is stacked. Like I said, Florida, Toronto, Philly, Columbus, Carolina, all teams we have to try and catch up to. Those are all the teams we have to try and catch up to, really. There's definitely too many teams, but hey, we've seen crazier things happen. We've seen Los Angeles get an 8th seed in the playoffs and win the Stanley Cup from there in 2012, of course. So you never know. You never know what you could see. I would love to see Oilers to trade for Tatar. Like maybe we could trade Russell and a pick for Tatar. Sound fair thoughts? Chris Russell, I'm not necessarily sure. I haven't seen too much of Russell. I did see the game last night between the Oilers and Canucks. And Chris Russell didn't seem to do too much, in my opinion. I do think that perhaps we could trade definitely for a pick. If we can get, say, a second rounder, maybe a first and get a prospect. But the Oilers want to make the playoffs now, so trading for Tatar would be the best part, or would be the best thing. So perhaps maybe we rob another team involving Tatar. Wouldn't it be better to keep all of Kobe Price Tatar? It would definitely, Vit, I do agree. It would definitely be better to keep Kobe Price and Tatar. But looking at it, Kobe does expire after this year. He expires this season. Obviously, it was just a 1 year, 2-way. If you trade Kovalchuk, you could potentially get a second rounder or season free agency, obviously. Tatar would probably be better to keep unless you do want to try and free up some cap space to go after a potential Taylor Hall type of guy in the offseason, which I'm not in favor of Montreal doing personally. Even though we do need that superstar player, Hall is not that guy in my opinion. If somehow Alex Pietrangelo makes the free agency, I could definitely see him being the guy you pay $6-7 million for a few years. Pietrangelo would definitely be a good guy to come to Montreal and could potentially be that superstar we need, in my opinion at least. And Price definitely would be better to keep at this point, in my opinion, just because he is starting to play better. He seemed to always have played better in the second half of the season for some reason. So I have officially jumped off the hashtag trade Price bandwagon, at least for me personally, just yet. We are 8 on the live stream, which I'm very – those likes as well are looking pretty good as well. Thank you guys so much for that. If you're enjoying the stream, please hit that like button. The more Montreal wins and close to the playoffs, the more people in the room. That is very true, Vit. That is true. Habs guy, how's it going, man? Habs guy, oh my God, it's great to see you here, man. Did you see the fight for? Yeah, I did see the Zach Kassian and the Matthew Tkachuk fight where Matthew kicked Cassian's ass. That was pretty fun. I liked that. Loved Calgary winning as well. Love the Flames. I need to go keep the great content and have a great night. Go Habs, go. Let's hockey. Thank you very much. I saw you on Ziri Gaming's video. You sent him a package. That's pretty dope, man. That's awesome. You got to get featured on a channel like his, much like how I was featured on a channel like yours. It's a content creator getting featured by another. That's really awesome. I gotta give you a shout out in. I gotta give you a shout out in return. Let's hockey. If you have not, please check out his videos. They're absolutely awesome. He does hockey card videos. And you know what? But real quick, let's hockey before you leave. I want to show off the great pull I had earlier today. I went to my sister's work. I guess it would be her work, and I bought a pack of hockey cards, and I ended up getting UD game jersey Dougie Hamilton. That is genuinely, honestly, the greatest card I've ever gotten. This card, I honestly cannot say enough good things about. It's just really, really awesome. My first ever jersey card. I'm definitely going to need to be looking for that. I have it in when you go to the dollar store and get 15 cards. I just have it in there for now because I need to get plastic card holders. So yeah, I thought I'd show that off real quick. Let's hockey. I see you and Habs guy. I see you guys both like that. Why is it with me mentioning hockey cards and throwing the board off? I gotta make that a compilation. That's great. Let's hockey. I'm glad you think so. Yep, game used jersey Habs guys. That's something I need to get a plastic card holder for. Let's hockey. I think it's safe to say every time I move the board talking about hockey cards, I'm gonna get a shout out from someone. First it was you. Let's see who's next. Oh God, I got some comments to go through. McDavid got pissed off at the ref because Mark Giordano almost tripped him with his leg. McDavid pissed off. I did see that. Some people were calling for a suspension. I'm just gonna spray my room real quick. I did see that Mark Giordano. Some people were calling for a suspension on Giordano. Personally, I don't think he should get a suspension, especially since there was no injury on the play. As for a penalty being called, I could definitely see why fans would have wanted a penalty to be called. I personally won't agree as a bit of a Flames fan, bit of an Oilers fan as well, honestly, aside from Zach Kassian, obviously. But yeah, I can definitely agree. I can definitely see why that would happen. Oh my God, I just noticed 7 viewers, 7 likes. Thank you guys so much. Oh my God, I genuinely can't believe that I have this many likes tonight. Thank you all so much. I appreciate it. And holy moly, Cassian signed with the Oilers again. He said he wants to be an Oiler. He loves it here in Edmonton, and he says he loves his fans' thoughts. Aside from Cassian being a bit of an asshole on the ice, that's awesome. He loves Edmonton and loves his fans and wants to stay in Edmonton. I see him very much as a Max Domi type for Edmonton. Domi, of course, has said he loves Montreal and wants to be in Montreal for the rest of his life, or be a Canadian for the rest of his life. That sounds really weird. Be a Canadiens player, I'll say, for the rest of his life. I don't think Domi's going to get as overpaid as Kassian was, which it seems Ken Holland, when he really likes a player, he tends to really overpay for them. But I don't think Domi is going to get overpaid. If anything, I think he would take a pay cut to stay in Montreal, as long as it means bettering the team. Like, say, acquiring, let's just say, for example, a Taylor Hall type player, you know? I think Domi would definitely take a pay cut for that. Go ahead. Go Habs, go Julian Fonte. Welcome back to the stream, brother. 20 straight wins coming up. I agree, man. 20 straight wins. I'm so happy as fuck because my Oilers jersey is coming, so Kassian would be my second favorite player. Really? Cassian's your second favorite player in the Oilers spotlight? Even more so than Draisaitl? I don't know. I kind of like Draisaitl. All right, we're 20 minutes in. What do you guys say we finally get into the actual game that took place tonight? I love talking, but holy shit, I got to get into the game that took place tonight. Yeah, so defense was Sherratt Weber, Scandella Petrie, Mete, Kulak, and Price is in net again. Really, Draisaitl is kind of not your type? Damn. For a guy carrying McDavid, you would expect I'd expect him to be your type. Wow, lol. Julian, oh really? Oh, what are you saying wow to? Something I said? That's not a shock. Cassie is like Fulton Reed from Mighty Ducks. Fulton Reed. Funny enough, I've never seen Mighty Ducks. I've never seen the Mighty Ducks. I've never seen the Mighty Ducks movies. Who knows? Maybe I'll do a live reaction. Late show. Yeah, Julian, it's a late show. It's a late show that actually did start late. It was supposed to start around 10. Started at like 10, 11 or something like that. But yeah. Yeah, Habs guy. I actually forgot to write that down. Thank you for reminding me. Price did try for the empty net. He did try for an empty net goal once it was already 3-1. That was incredibly awesome, risky and awesome to see him. When I saw it, I was like, oh shit, no way is he gonna get it. But I forget who it was, but it was a player. Oh, I think it was Gergensons. I think it might have been Zemis Gergensons, who ended up stopping. And funny enough, with like 15 seconds left, they actually put Hutton back in just to stop Price from getting the empty netter, which was pretty funny. And I turned it out. I was like, why are they? I was like, they're putting him in to keep Price from getting the empty netter, right? It's like, yeah, they're probably doing that. So that was pretty funny. But that's very late into the game. We still got to cover the beginning. I'm not dating Dry. I told you all. I date only Oilers females players. I don't know about that, Spotlight. If there's any female Oilers fans, I hear they're. I hear a lot of women are Flames fans, actually. So early in the first period, the Habs are not really looking good at all. They really let the Sabres dominate them. Here's why I like Cass. He seems so confident off the ice, and he protects McDavid at all costs. I can definitely see why you do like Zach Kassian. As a Canadiens fan who had him for all of about 5 minutes before he got traded to you guys, I'm pretty sure it was right to Edmonton, actually. Yeah, we acquired him from Vancouver, didn't play him, and then traded him to Edmonton, I'm pretty sure. Unless we draft, no, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Is we trade him to Edmonton for, I think that was in the Jeff Petrie trade, I think. But yeah, I definitely do think Kassian, while he can be a bit of a pest, and I'm saying this as a fan of Matthew Tkachuk, as both Tkachuks really, he definitely does seem decent. He seems like a decent player, and I'm glad you like him so much. Yeah, Suzuki is such a beauty of a player. Julian, I agree. He's definitely a special player. The fact we got him and Tatar for a combined 76 points for Pacioretty, and even got a second rounder out of that trade still. That was absolutely amazing. That was a great trade, honestly. 76. Petrie or Tatar, Suzuki is absolutely going to be. I think he definitely has first line potential. I think in 2 to 3 seasons, Suzuki can absolutely be that top line left winger who can shut things down, just get a bunch of points, I think. I'm going to say now, I think Suzuki can definitely be a point-per-game player in a couple years. He's looking absolutely amazing, in my opinion. That's it. I'm calling YouTube to ban you from YouTube for being a Montreal fan. Spotlight, thank you very much, brother. Who's Suzuki? I thought that was a fruit. I don't know. Might be. There might be a fruit named Suzuki. I feel like there actually is. All right. So the Sabres, they went to the power play. Armia got called for a tripping, and they scored. It was Jack Eichel scoring his 30th of the year, or the season, I should say, not 30th. He didn't score a goal per game, a goal per day in this month. But you know what I mean. NHL 20 is so hairicism. They put hair on him, but he's bald. Oh, hairicist. But he's bald, I wrote. Wait, what? Cassian? They put hair on Cassian? That's awesome. Honestly, that's kind of funny. That's funny they do that. But Eichel scores his 30th of the year, makes it 1-0 Sabres. The Habs are 0 for 1 in the PK thus far tonight. And the Habs they were getting Cassian. Yeah, that's pretty funny. Cassian. The Habs got really outshot badly in the first period. They had not gotten a single shot in the first 11 minutes of the game. And I even said to my dad, Mark Giordano is bald in the game. Giordano does not have hair in real life. No, he absolutely is bald. He has to be. There's no way Giordano actually has hair. Next game is Saturday. And I believe it's against the Panthers. Next game is Saturday against the Panthers, and then Sunday against Columbus, where it's going to be hometown hockey, and I will not be able to go, sadly. Anyone who was expecting to meet me at hometown hockey, because I said before, I do want to go there. Sadly, unfortunately, I will not be able to show up for hometown hockey, and I believe it's Chateauguay it's going to be in on this Sunday. I will not be able to go due to unforeseen circumstances. So yeah, sadly, I will have to cancel that. Who knows? Maybe in the future, once I have enough subs, I will be able to schedule a meetup of my own. Maybe I'll be the hockey guy. Why? Unforeseen plans got in the way. Other plans got in the way of me being able to go there. So it sucks, yes, but hey, you never know. Next game. So degrees NHL fan, you never know. Harry, look behind you. I saw something. Walk outside your curtains. If you did, it was honestly probably just the lights on a moving car outside. Because where my window is, there's a bunch of cars. Well, it's near my room is pretty much outside the drive. Yeah, I guess the driveway. So if you saw lights or something, then it's that probably just moving cars. I want to see you on TV. Hey, James, thank you so much. I appreciate it, brother. Who knows? I don't want to be an analyst. I think it'd be fun to be an analyst. Who knows? Maybe in 10, 15 years, maybe 20 years, if I finally get recognized or whatever, who knows? Maybe I will be on TV. Maybe I'll be a TSN or Sportsnet or something, ESPN, if they're still around in 10 years. Yeah, who knows? Maybe I could be the next Don Cherry. That's awesome. Hey, Limebot, how's it going, man? How's it going, brother? So like I said, the Habs got badly outshot in the first period. Not a single shot in the first 11 minutes. I want to say the shots were at that point 9-0. I think it was 9-0. And I even turned to my dad when the shots were like 6-0. I was like, hey, at least if this is our Habs and Lightning, where of course we badly outshot the Lightning 16-0 in the first 9 minutes of the game, up 2-0. I said, hey, if this means anything, we should win since Buffalo's up in shots. I'm the next Don Cherry. Hey, Spotlight, if you want to be the next Don Cherry, you go out and you be the next Don Cherry, man. The Habs under the power play then. No Edmonton and Flames fans will be allowed in Edmonton. Spotlight, I am perfectly fine with that because I do not want to go to Edmonton. No, that's rude. I'm sorry. The Habs are really getting outplayed all over the board at that point in the night, is really what I put on the board. Sorry. If those fans come in our city, they will have to pay for new jerseys. Hey, if we got to pay for New Jersey, I'd be fine with that. I kind of like Jersey. The Habs then went to the power play. Kahnawake went for a holding. The Habs looked awful as they can't even enter the zone really on the power play. They went 0 for 1. But then very in the first, they were looking great. The Habs were looking great. They got several chances in a row, but they just couldn't score, sadly. And after the first period, it's 1-0 Sabres. Shots ended up being 11-7 Sabres. So they, funny enough, I was going to put, sorry. Funny enough, I was actually going to say, I was actually gonna say, the Habs trying to lessen the blow of the loss tonight by trying to get shots. But turns out we didn't have to lessen the blow of anything other than the amount of goals we scored on Buffalo tonight. Hunter the mascot would beat them up, but they don't. Hey, Hunter the mascot's dope. I don't think he would. Deal or no deal to Detroit, San Jose's first, and Brady Tkachuk to Ottawa, Anthony Mantha in second this year. Linebot, in order for Ottawa to do that, I think they would need to get a first rounder in return. I think if it's really just swapping firsts, and Brady Tkachuk and Ottawa's getting Mantha in the second because, say, Ottawa has the first overall pick because of the San Jose pick, and say Detroit has second, then I would do that personally if Ottawa gets back Detroit's first round pick in return. But if it's just straight up that, I don't think, for me personally, that's a deal. But actually, wait. For me personally, that's a deal because Detroit would be absolutely amazing after the season. Ottawa, I think they would be dumb enough to do that, honestly, because Mantha, even though I love Anthony Mantha, I think just Anthony Mantha would probably be like, oh, hey, yeah, sure. I don't care if we give up. Let's just get Anthony Mantha. But for me personally, that's a deal. If I'm Detroit. If I'm Ottawa, no deal. If I'm Detroit in this situation, then absolutely a deal. Do you get any hockey gear? Aside from a stick here and there, and I actually have a set of goalie equipment in not my garage, downstairs, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's downstairs. No, I don't have any hockey gear, sadly. And pucks, obviously, a puck and net. Aside from the basics, if I don't have any actual gear for myself, it's mostly pucks and sticks in the net, and obviously that stuff. Who's stronger, Cass or Weber? Who would you love to have based on skill, toughness, and protection? Weber, honestly. Weber, who has 33 points. Yes, I don't think he has gotten a point in a few games. But still, just based off tonight, he definitely protected some players pretty well tonight. Skill. Weber, of course, has the skill. Toughness. Weber's probably one of the toughest guys in the league right now, in my opinion. Obviously, the hardest shot. It's probably second hardest shot aside from Chara. Well, at this point, probably Weber has the hardest shot, I would think. Personally, I would have to go with Weber. I would absolutely go with Weber over Cassian. I wish you play ice hockey. Ass hockey, not ass hockey. Ice hockey. Sorry. James, I wish I did as well. Honestly, I wouldn't be a fan of being a goaltender since that's the only equipment I have. But I would definitely love to get the equipment to play ice hockey. Actually, the house that I was at before we moved here, the one where I was making former videos, or the former house where I was making videos that you guys see on this channel, you can see on this channel. Personally, I actually lived, it was literally like a 5-minute walk away, lived near a hockey equipment store. I was actually going to try and go in there one day and film around, show off the jerseys they got. They had the Buffalo Slug. They had, I think, Boston. They had some Pittsburgh, Toronto, Vegas, obviously. I was going to go there and film a video, but I never got around to it, sadly. And they had a bunch of hockey equipment, sticks, helmets, shin pads, a bunch of stuff. And I really wanted to get that, but I was like, nah. Because obviously I didn't have the money because what 16, 17-year-old kid has enough money to get like $500 worth of hockey equipment. So yeah. If McDavid ever left, who would you love to see getting the C on Oilers out of these 5? Clefbaum, Cass, Hopkins. Yeah, Nugent Hopkins. Draisaitl or Bear. Opinion. I could easily see Draisaitl taking over the captaincy. But personally, I do think Clefbaum would get it. I think if McDavid were to leave, get traded, because I don't think he could get traded. I could definitely see Clefbaum taking over the C spot. I can definitely see him getting the captaincy. I don't think McDavid ever should have gotten the captaincy at 19 years old. He should be at least 25, 26 when he gets captaincy, in my opinion. So early on in the second period, the Habs are looking pretty great. I play ice hockey. Hey, James, that's awesome. That's pretty cool to hear you play ice hockey. Awesome. Oh, my God. I have to get out of here in like 11 minutes because I usually limit myself to 45 minutes. Let's see if I can wrap up with your comments and the game in 11 minutes without rushing too much. So early on in the second period, the Habs look pretty great. About the Habs game now. Yes, Spotlight, thank you. The Habs look great, and they capitalized with the goal. Ilya Kovalchuk for his 8th of the year. The helpers went to Suzuki and Armia. This lane, Jesus Christ. This line was looking great as I was expecting out of them. I said to my dad before the game started, When they showed the lineups and they showed Kovalchuk, Suzuki, and Armia, I was like, that line's going to be deadly, I think, tonight. On one of your Habs game spotlight. Thank you very much. Appreciate it, brother. And yeah, that line in the second period looked great. Obviously, they scored. And yeah, Suzuki would come out tonight with 2 points, 2 assists. And overall, just that second line looked great. And then 2 minutes later, the Habs scored again, 2 goals in 2 minutes, 21 seconds. Brendan Gallagher scores in his first game back since coming back from the concussion/headaches. Technically a second game back since then, but you know what I mean. It's his 16th of the year. The assists going to Tatar and Danault. So that entire first line helped, offensive first line, obviously, helping out on Gallagher's goal. He now has 34 points, ties with Max Domi in points for this season. And he is second in goals on the team. Tatar obviously leads them there. JFB, Kovalchuk is the real deal. Many people thought he was washed up and that he was damaged goods in the Kings. They bought him out. He's still getting paid from the Kings, I think so. Came to Montreal on that league minimum deal, and he's looked absolutely amazing. I believe he has 9 points in 10 games now, I think, with the Canadiens. So he's absolutely rejuvenated in Montreal. He is Kovalchuk is just looking amazing in Montreal. I do definitely think if we trade him at the deadline, if we decide we're sellers, I think we absolutely could make a deal with someone where it's like, okay, hey, you don't sign Kovalchuk, we'll give you an extra third for whatever they give us in return, say a second rounder. And then we just sign Kovalchuk in the offseason. Say, I would probably give him a 1 mil, 1.5 year deal. 1.5 mil, not 1.5. You can't sign a player for a year and a half. But yeah. Yeah, I hope they sign him as well. I think Kovalchuk could definitely help some of the young players like Paling, Fleury, who looked. I'm surprised he has been scratched recently. There must be something going on with him that is not being made aware to us. Suzuki, I think he could definitely help with the young guns and could definitely put up points himself. He's not like no disrespect to Thompson, but Thompson is definitely more of a locker room type guy where he's there to help the young guys. Where Kovalchuk, he could do that as well. If they want to bring back Thompson, I would definitely be for that, just letting you guys know. But Kovalchuk is definitely one of those where it's like, all right, he can help the young guns, and he can also put up points himself. So Kovalchuk could definitely be worth the 1.52 mil. I'm going to head out. Great stream. I got to go early to start filming. I got to wake up early to start filming. Go Habs Go. Spotlight. Thank you for checking out the stream, brother. Appreciate it. I'm assuming you're one of the now 8 likes on the stream. Thank you very much, brother. I appreciate it. Hope you have a good rest, brother, and good luck filming tomorrow. Good luck filming. JFB, hope you've been enjoying the stream as well. Back to the Habs game. There was a small crack in the ice that, or not the ice, the glass. There was a panel where the camera guys put the camera through. Nearly caused a turnover for the Sabres to score an embarrassing goal. It was pretty much an empty, wide open net. It would have been if Price didn't come out to play the puck. Price did get it beforehand, though, thankfully. And because of the small crack, they took, I believe, it was about a 5-10 minute break to repair the glass. And the Habs, for the most part, were showing signs. Not for the most part. They were playing pretty well, but they did show a few signs of miscommunication. There was a few bad turnovers. Nearly cost the Habs a goal, but thankfully they were able to recover. But late in the second period, I put third accidentally. Late in the second, the Sabres were looking to even the score, and they got a power play. Lekanen went to the box for holding. That was more so interference than anything. But either way, the Sabres were able to apply pressure, but they don't score and don't even get a single shot off on the power play. The Habs are 1 for 2 on the PK tonight. And at the end of the second period, it's 2-1 Habs. Shots are 21-14 Habs as well. Of course, the shots in the first were 11-7. So now the shots being 21-14 for the Habs. The shots in that period, I honestly can't believe the shots. I must have. No. That makes sense, actually, how I have them. So the shots in that period were 14-3 for the Canadiens. So we're talking about domination in one period. Jesus, that first period was not necessarily even domination. This period, 14-3 the shots in the second period for the Canadiens. That was absolute domination, in my opinion. And early in the third, the Habs are playing well. Let's hope they can keep it up and squeeze out a victory tonight. And then Dale Weiss, who's been playing surprisingly well in his call-up recently with a goal and 3 assists in 4 games. He got a nice chance with Nate Thompson, but he just couldn't bat it home. It was a nice chance, and the Habs were really pushing for another goal, but they weren't risking it too hard, which I thought was pretty good to not force a turnover, or to not potentially force a turnover and get a goal against. The Habs went back to the PK. Philip Deneau went to the box for hooking. I did not see it, so I couldn't tell if it was as bad as it was apparent. During said power play, after a whack at Price, there's a big scrum going on. No penalty, surprisingly, though. And actually, funny enough, earlier in one of the Sabres power plays, I just remembered this. There was another scrum. Domi should have gotten called. It should have been a 5-on-3. Domi should have gotten called for a cross check to the face. Very surprised he didn't. The referee was standing right there. So this goes to show the Habs are not biased towards the Habs, if anyone was thinking that, because they missed that blatant call. And that if the refs were biased against the Habs, that would have been easily at least a 5-minute interjection. But it doesn't really matter because sadly Domi did not put up a point tonight, which I'm pretty sure he will. He'll get another point in the next game. I think he's going to get 4 points in the next 2 games. I'm calling it now because he's been on a bit of a cold streak recently. But yeah, Domi probably should have gotten called for that. And Weber surprisingly did not get called for a roughing call during this scrum. But yeah. The Habs were then able to kill off the rest of the power play, 2 for 3 on the PP tonight. And then Gallagher got a great chance on a breakaway. Carter Hutton, though, with a very, very nice save on the play. And then the Sabres pulled the goalie. They pulled Hutton with, I believe, just under 2 minutes left in the game. And the Habs were able to put home the empty netter. Tomas Tatar scores his 18th of the season to, again, lead the Canadiens in goals. The helper's going to Suzuki for his 30th point in his rookie season. Big claps in the chat for Nick Suzuki, 30 points in his rookie season, looking absolutely phenomenal right now. And Yoel Armia for his 24th point, I believe his second since coming back. No, his third, because he got an assist earlier. I'm pretty sure he got an assist earlier. So his third point since coming back, I'm pretty sure. And it's a 3-1 victory for the Canadiens. The shots are 30-21 Canadiens, 0 for 1 in the power play, but they are 2 for 3 on the PK tonight. So the Canadiens overall played very, very well, in my opinion, tonight. Definitely probably one of their best games in the last couple of that I've seen personally. That I've seen. I've seen every game pretty much for the Canadiens this season. The Canadiens go into Buffalo, and they play a damn good game. And worthy to mention, I think, a majority of the crowd, it seemed, were pro-Montreal. A lot of the crowd seemed to be Montreal fans. And they even had the Olay chants going in the final minute of the game, which was very weird to see in Buffalo. But yeah. So as I move the board away, get it off screen. That, of course, unless you're new here, that means that oh my God, I just realized I might be ear raping you with that. My apologies. That, of course, means that I'm going to be doing my outro unless anyone has any questions or comments about the game that just ensured between the Canadiens and Sabres. I'm going to be doing my outro. So please, while I'm doing my outro, do not be afraid to ask anything in the comments, comment anything in the comments, or the live chat, I should say, unless you're watching this after and you're still here after 43 minutes in the comments. That's awesome. So yeah, guys, that's going to do it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, favorite, share, exclusive, but not limited to YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, and everything else. My name is Harry. Subscribe to the Puff Club, subscribe to the Hashi Club, subscribe to the Sub Club. If you're a member of the Mod Squad, like my friends Spotlight Hockey, James Barry, Jesse is Dung. Good night, JFB. Hope you have a good rest, man. And I hope to see you in future streams if you enjoyed this one. If you're a member of the Mod Squad, like those friends, you have the blue wrench right to your name. Take care. Thank you. You too, man. Take care as well, JF. Links in the description are my Twitter, my Twitch. My Twitter is currently suspended. I don't know if I'm going to get it back because I really have no use for Twitter right now. Everything I say on camera is pretty much what I put on Twitter eventually. Or I just sub. Peace, bro. JFB, thank you for the subscription, brother. I appreciate it. See ya, Techno Junkie. Thank you for the lurk, man. Thank you both. We are now 93 subs, I believe it would be at. We are very close to being away from the 100 subs. I believe it's 100. Oh no, the drive to thrive with 100 new guys. That's what the slogan is. That was absolutely disgusting what I just did. My apologies for anyone who saw that. No one saw that really. So yeah, Twitter in the description. Also is my Twitch. My Twitch, I do have to get up on here one day with Streamlabs OBS and try and stream on Twitch. See if I can use that and see if it works decently. Hopefully the stream's not been too bad visually. Hopefully you can at least kind of see my face. But yeah, I gotta get up on here on Twitch one day. Of course, post in the Discord if you want Actually, I will give a link to the Discord right away, just to invite people if anyone does want to show up onto the Discord. Where is it? Right here. If anyone does want to show up to Discord and know when I go live for the Canadiens games, or the Canadian games live stream, I should say, there's a link in the description, or the chat, I should say, sorry. Who knows? I should probably just start getting one permanent link and putting it in the description, putting in the chat, whatever. I'm going to do that eventually. The Amazon wish list and PO box in the description as well. If you guys want to send anything my way, it's greatly appreciated. It's not required to enjoy my content. If you just want to enjoy the content, not do that, that's perfectly fine. But if you want to, of course, that is greatly appreciated. Anything you do for the channel is greatly appreciated. But whether it's viewing or you want to go out of your way to do that, to send me something, it's greatly appreciated. You will get your own video. Most of the time, you will get your own video unless there's enough packages in which I'm able to start doing M&M, Monday Night Mail, which I do hope to do in the future. I do think it would be really cool, whether I go live and do Monday Night Mail or it's an actual video posted on Monday nights for Monday Night Mail. You're my new Antechamber. Antechamber? What's Antechamber? Is that like a Canadians game recap thing? If so, I'm very honored to be that. That's really awesome. Techno Junkie, either way, just to be replacing anyone as your new whatever, that's really awesome. Oh, it's the RDS. Yeah, cheers to the RDS people that go live after the game. I forgot about that. That's a big honor, honestly. The fact that I'm your new Antechamber or Antechambre, I believe. My French is a little rusty. That's awesome, honestly. Techno Junkie, that's greatly appreciated, brother. I hope I stay your new Antechamber for a long time. So thank you. I appreciate that, brother. But yeah, like I said, Amazon wish list and the PO box. You want to send anything? Greatly appreciate it, like I said. And of course, the letterbox list in the description. That's where I rate and review movies. Very, very rarely I'll review them unless I have a lot to say about a movie. Otherwise, I'll just rate them. Most recent movie I watched is Marriage Story, and I'm actually kind of debating giving a review to it on here, actually, not live, but in a video, because I do have a lot to say about it. I recently watched it. I actually watched it yesterday, and I do have a lot of stuff to say about the movie. So who knows? I might do a review of it. If so, it'd be my first movie review on this channel. Who knows? Maybe I'll see how well it does. Who knows? But other than that, yeah, Letterboxd. Check it out if you want to know movies I love, unless you'd rather watch the video I made for Christmas Day, which may or may not be the top 100 favorite movies of all time of 2019 for me. But you can also check out the Letterboxd if you want to know movies I hate, which I might do a video on that in the future. Who knows? I think it'd be fun to do so. Spoiler, bad comedy will get you a very big dislike from me. Step Brothers. Jesus, sorry. Step Brothers. But yeah, that's going to do it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Jesse, no to yourself, brother. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Harry Rice. I love every single person that watches my videos, whether you like, you dislike, you comment something positive, comment something negative, whether you're criticizing me for being fat or you're criticizing me for the better of the channel, saying, oh, you should get a better this or that or whatever. I appreciate every comment, every like, every dislike, every share, every subscription, everything that anyone does for the channel, whether you're just watching or going as far as whatever. It's greatly appreciated. I got to get out of here because my mouth is super dry and I need to drink. I need to get something to drink. I am already messing up my words. I am not drunk, I swear. My name is Harry Rice. Thank you all so much for watching, and I am out. Peace.